Hi everybody and welcome back to another episode of Turning Readers into Writers. And today I want to talk about something that you might not think has anything to do with writing, but in fact I think has a lot to do with anything that we want to achieve in life. If we want to stretch for something new, we want to pursue something we've never done before and something which feels really difficult to us, then using a vision board, a manifestation board, a mood board, however you like to describe it, but using something visual that helps you clarify what it is that you want and gives you just this image for the life or the project or the exercise that you are trying to achieve. So the power of vision boards is surprisingly strong, and I hear anecdote after anecdote from people who have, perhaps set a vision board, created a vision board for themselves. Say it's about a job that they want and a house that they want to live in, and they create this board and it's there and they look at it and they visualize the house and the lifestyle that they'll have, and then life kind of moves on and they maybe move house and they forget about this vision board for a long time. And then when they're unpacking, I can't remember who told me this story, but then they're unpacking and then they open up this vision board from a time that they had forgotten about, and there is the very house that they had envisioned themselves living in. And actually, this moment has sort of made me realise that I had set a vision board for myself a long time ago when I was probably around the age of 20, and it contained the house that I'm living in now. So whilst it was not exactly the same on the inside, I knew exactly the sort of period of house I wanted to live in, the kind of area I wanted to live in, and what it might look like, or the feel of it on the inside. But when I saw this house, when we came to view it, I knew immediately that this was the one that I wanted to live in. So having the power of vision, or being able to see what could happen in the future, what you desire to happen in the future, has surprising power to it. And it can have real, for even those who are not fans of the idea of manifestation, or what do they also call it, the law of attraction, it might all feel a bit ridiculous and a bit silly. But as an exercise, it is surprisingly effective. I just think they're very, very effective. And so that's why I wanted to bring it to your attention, in case you haven't discovered them before, haven't really heard about them, not sure what they are, and want to know a little bit more and see if you can incorporate it into your bigger vision for your life. So what is a vision board? Well, I want you to think back to when you were at school, probably in primary school or kindergarten, and you would be asked to make collages. And so in the olden days, when I was at school, we'd have lots of magazines, and both children's magazines, women's magazines, and we would be encouraged to, a pile would be put on the desk at school, and then we would be encouraged to look through them, find pictures we liked, cut them out, glue them on. And the teacher might have given us any kind of theme. Maybe it was around Christmas time or Easter or the harvest time, or maybe a project that we were doing at school about space, or you name it, anything. So this is an early kind of idea of a vision board and what you envision something to look like, whether it be outer space or whether it be the images that reflect Christmas or a school holiday, whatever they meant for you. You can envisage it and you could stick it down on this vision board, or this collage as it would have been called at school. But a vision board really is that kind of next step on. It's a slightly more grown-up version and a more intentional version of that collage you made at school. And what you want to be thinking about for this, particularly, it's not exclusive to, but because we are writers, if we're thinking about our writing life, to be thinking about what would a vision for the future of our writing future, what would that incorporate? So you want to be a writer. What kind of genre do you want to write in? Do you want to write standalone books, or do you want to write in series? Do you want to write across genres, or are you wanting to write a memoir about a section of your life? So these are all kind of part of your bigger vision of the books that you want to write, the stories that you want to tell. But your writing life goes beyond that, because something I've certainly learned, when I wrote my first novel, I thought writing a novel is just about writing a novel. It's just about putting the words on the page, creating a cohesive plot line, putting it all together and publishing it, and it's just about the book. It's just about the novel. That's it. What I've since realised is that actually a writing life, it ripples out into all other areas of life. It's not just about the book. So how my day looks, for example, is so different now. Never would I have envisaged that I would be sitting here recording a podcast, for example. Nor did I think that I would be consider myself a full-time writer. So these are things as well that have shaped my day. So I spend time recording into a microphone. I spend time working on my fiction. I spend time working on my non-fiction. And I spend time with other writers. And that's a big piece of the puzzle as well. What kind of day would you like to have, and who would you spend that day with? So it might be that you're an early bird, and so the perfect writing life for you would be you're up with the lark, you're perhaps going for a run or taking your dog out for a walk, doing some yoga, meditation, maybe some journaling. So maybe that's how you start your day, and then mid-morning you might do your writing and enjoy that over a lovely hot cup of tea or coffee. And then in the afternoon, perhaps you would go to the bookstore, or you would spend time reading other people's work, keeping up with your professional development in that way. Or perhaps you'd be getting together with other writers, not necessarily to write, but to talk about writing, to talk about a writing life, to talk about their work, or simply just to be with writing friends who understand where you're coming from, what you're trying to achieve, and the life you're wanting to create for yourself. So think about how that might look for you. Or maybe you're a night owl and you want to stay up late at night. I know there are writers who really enjoy to write between the hours of midnight and 2 a.m. because for them that is when the world is at peace. Everybody is quiet, they can relax, they know that everybody's taken care of. And that's when they can genuinely switch off from the trials and tribulations of day-to-day life and enjoy their writing. So perhaps they get up later in the day, and maybe you don't go for that jog in the morning, but spend their days in other ways. So really think about how you would like to spend your day. What would the perfect writerly life look like for you? So that is what you would put on your vision board. The kind of fiction that you want to write, the type of lifestyle that you would like. Do you want to make any money from your writing? And I would say that I would encourage everybody here to say, yes, I do want to make money from my writing. So put that on your board as well. You might not yet be able to specify an amount, but you could put, yes, I would like to earn an income from my writing. What else might you like to put on? So if you were to earn some money from your writing, then would you stay in the same house you've got? Would you alter the house you've got? Would you move? Would you have your own office? Where would you write? Again, what would that ideal life look like for you? And when we're thinking about our writing and our writing life, these are the things that I urge you and encourage you to put on your vision board. I've just thought as well, perhaps something like retreats. Maybe you've read about retreats in Greece or the south of France, and that sounds lovely. Or Hawaii, and those are things that you would love to go to one day. Again, pop them on your vision board, because this is something that you can certainly work towards in your future. So then how do you create one? And I think this is up for discussion for a lot of people. Some people really do like the old school way of doing it, and the much more tactile and possibly more creative way of doing it as well, is that you are cutting out bits of paper. You are perhaps writing something on a colourful piece of paper, you cut it out and you stick it on your vision board. For example, I would like to earn an income with my writing. That might be something that you create yourself, or you have magazines, Writerly magazines, travel magazines that you can cut images out of and stick on a pen and paper vision board. And that I've done that in the past, and it's lovely. It was nice. And the one thing I liked about that one is the one that I did on pen and paper, it wasn't just for me, actually, it was one I did with my husband. So we both talked about what we envisage for our future as a family, as well as ourselves as individuals. So that was really nice. But what I also do when I've got smaller, more immediate goals, I make a digital one, and this is something a lot of people do. And I learned about this from Catherine Zenkina, the manifestation babe, whose approach to manifestation I really, really like, because she keeps things as simple as possible, and I'm all about simplicity. If I can do something in the easiest way possible, I will try to do that. And so she is basically said, get on Canva, or use any other, like Adobe. Maybe you use an image software somewhere, and you just use that, and you can upload images that you want, something that represents to you the vision that you're looking for. So if I think about a recent one, I had on my vision board the book coach Jenny Nash. She was somebody I wanted to interview for a long time. She was on my vision board. I really, really wanted this to happen, and eventually it did. And I will link to that episode in the show notes for you. So she was somebody I really wanted to speak to. In conjunction with that, she runs a certification program called Author Accelerator, which is for book coaches, and this is something that I want to get certified in as part of my CPD, my professional development as a book coach. So that's something that I am slowly working towards, and that is a more immediate goal. But perhaps you're right at the beginning, and it's actually just something of the more broader strokes that you want. Again, you can use something like Canva, which is a free image software, and you can create all sorts of fabulous things. You can create book covers with it, you can create mood boards, you can create what else can you create? Christmas cards, Easter, any kind of greetings card. There is something up there for everybody. It's an amazing tool if you haven't discovered it. Really good fun. So that is something that you can use to create it. So there's lots of different ways. I have no doubt there is specialist mood board software out there, and if you know of some, please do let me know. I haven't searched for it, I have to admit, because I'm very happy to use Canva. But if you know of any special software that does that, or any great apps that allow people to do that, then let me know and I can share that with others. So my mood board, if it's not on the wall, then it is on my desktop. So it's I use it as my desktop on my computer, but I also use it as my screensaver on my lock screen on my phone. So every time I pick up my phone, the image illuminates and I get to see it there. Now that one might be smaller. So that might just be a phrase or a quote or a motto that I am focusing on at that moment in time. But it is a great way of keeping that dream alive, keeping me thinking about what it is I'm looking to achieve and what I want to manifest in my life going forward. So I really recommend that option as well. It's really, really great. And again, you can do that on Canva, and then you download it and upload it onto your phone. So we have covered in this so far what are mood boards, what do you put on a mood board, and how do you create one as well. And the last point I just want to cover is, you might be wondering, well, okay, so if I put it on my mood board and I stick that up on my computer or on my wall, are these things going to happen straight away? Can I expect changes to happen in the next couple of weeks? Well, the answer most likely is no, it's not going to happen in the next couple of weeks, but equally it may well do. So if you have on your mood board that you want to earn £1 million with your sci-fi series, that is going to take longer to achieve, isn't it? So that makes sense that could be a very long-term goal, like a 5 or a 10-year goal. It could be. Equally, you never know, you might be the next Stephen King. Your first book gets picked up and boof, that's you on a new trajectory. You could be one of those unicorns. But for most of us, that type of ambition, that type of life goal, life vision, that would take longer to manifest and to make come true. Who's coming to mind now is what's his name? Jim Carrey. And a lot of you have heard the story about Jim Carrey writing himself a $10 million check, because that was how much he wanted to earn. And if the rumour is to be believed, in fact, the date he put on that check, he post-dated it, and that was the date he did secure his first 10 million movie deal. And it all came true. So he manifested that. He didn't have a full-on mood board like we're talking about today, but his check, the check that he wrote to himself, was enough. That was the one focus he had. That was the one thing that he was determined to achieve in that long term. And so by all accounts, he kept it in his wallet, and there it was. He could see it again and again and again. So everything he did moved him towards that. And that's really what the purpose of this is, and why not everything will happen immediately. If you've got a goal that you know is just something that you want and it's easily achievable and you can do it in the next few weeks, for example, maybe you're looking to upgrade something. Could be a household appliance, it could be a piece of furniture, it could be you want to upgrade your flights to business, something like that, then that feasibly is something you can do in the next 2 weeks. But having it there on your mood board, whether it be a short-term or a long-term vision, having it there for yourself keeps your mind focused. It keeps that vision coming to the top of your mind. So every time you see the mood board on your computer or on your wall or on your phone, or if you've got a check that's in your purse, it's reminding you to keep moving towards it, to keep focused on that vision and keep moving towards it. So it ties in with the idea of aligned action. So you have a goal, you want to be taking action that is in alignment with that goal. So for example, if your goal or your vision is to upgrade a piece of furniture, so say that you want a new sofa, a new couch, then the aligned action you would take with that would be either to have a browse online, or you might go to a couple of your local furniture stores and have a look around and try those out. You might make a decision right there and then, in which case you've achieved that vision in one day, but it might take a bit of discussion, and maybe you have to have a think about it. There's more than one that you like. Maybe you need to put your finance in place, so it might take a little bit longer. But going to have a look at the sofas, getting your finances in place, having the discussion with the other person involved, all of these things are small actions that are aligned with the bigger goal of buying that sofa. So for your writing, for example, if you have a goal of finishing your first novel in 1 year, then the aligned action that you would take is to schedule in that time to write, turn up and do it, and write your words little by little, consistency. So you'd be turning up and doing those aligned actions towards getting that first draft finished, which is very, very possible, by the way. You can absolutely do that. There's nothing to stop you doing that, should you make that decision to do it. Okay, so I hope that has given you a little bit of a new way of seeing things, that this is a tool that you could possibly use in your writing life that may help you get to the goal of writing your book, or get to the goal of writing your trilogy, or get to the goal of being picked up by the agent that you want to be picked up by. Whatever your goal is to do with your writing life, and if you want to expand it into your wider life, think about what it is that you want, because not enough people do think about the vision that they have for their writing, and maybe you're one of those people, and until now until me asking you right now, what is your vision for your writing? You've perhaps never thought about it in a real, tangible, concrete way. It's just been something off in the ether that doesn't really have any resonance or resilience with, it doesn't have any resonance for you. So do give thought to that. All right, I'll leave it there for today. Thanks for joining me. And don't forget to go and subscribe and to like the podcast if you've enjoyed today's episode, wherever you get your podcast from, and to leave a review. That would be wonderful, be so appreciated, and of course will help us get found by other people who, again, I can help write and turn them from a reader into a writer. All right, take care for now. Bye.